Support for this podcast comes from the Phil Smith Center for Free Enterprise at the FAU College of Business. The Phil Smith Center for Free Enterprise supports the vision and strategic plan of the College of Business to advance thought leadership in business. The center supports chaired professorships and research, educational programs for faculty members and students, distinguished visiting faculty, along with a lecture series and other educational programs focused on the principles of free enterprise and how those principles affect growth and prosperity. Learn more at business.fau.edu/Phil Smith.
Hello, my name is Dan Gropper, and I am the Dean of the College of Business here at Florida Atlantic University. And in today's edition of the Dean's Podcast, we're introducing some of our new instructors. Our next guest is Dr. James J.B. Ward, and J.B. has over 20 years of teaching experience in the hospitality and tourism management area and 25 years of industry experience. So J.B. has been with us previously as a visiting instructor, and now we're happy to welcome him as a full-time permanent instructor to our hospitality and tourism management program. J.B., welcome.
Dean Gropper, thank you very much for having me on the podcast. And I, too, am very excited to be a permanent member of the staff in the College of Business.
Now, JB, I know you've been deeply involved in the community here, particularly in Broward County. You've been chair of the Education Committee of the Broward chapter of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, and you've been previously chair of the Palm Beach Gardens Community High School Business Advisory Board. You've been engaged in the community lots of different ways, and I know when I've seen you at events, it seems like between you and Peter Ricci, you know virtually everybody that's out there. That engagement and involvement with the business community into our business classrooms is something that I think is one of the highlights of what we do in the College of Business at Florida Atlantic University. Can you tell us a little bit about your teaching philosophy and how you bring your business experience into your teaching?
I'll start with that component of my background and my teaching experience. So I tend to take the situations that I was in as an industry professional and tie those into course content whenever and wherever possible. And then many times that may be things that we did very well or things that maybe I could have done a lot better. And I think that really benefits the students. You mentioned our relationships in the community. I think the strength of our program, one of the strengths of our program is those relationships and how we take those relationships from, for lack of a more cheesy term, from the boardroom to the classroom. So as often as we can, those boards that we sit on, those partners that we have out there in industry, we want them interacting with our students. So I think everyone who's ever taught understands that there's you delivering content, and then there's someone coming in who works in the quote unquote real world delivering it. And there just seems to be a different reaction from the students. It's not a bad thing, and it's not something that you take personal. It's them getting the message. So we work as hard as we can on those relationships to try to kind of make it seem seamless and have that relationship exist, not independent.
Now, in addition to your teaching philosophy, which classes are you planning to teach for us this year? What's on your schedule? Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So in the fall, I'm teaching guest service. I'm teaching hotel and resort management, and I'm also teaching hotel marketing and revenue management. One of the things that we like to do on our program as much as possible is kind of rotate the courses that we teach. So unless there's a specific requirement for that course, we don't want to say, and a lot of universities have done this, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but this is the person who always teaches this class. We like to kind of mix it up for our students. So in the spring, it could be a combination of some of those classes. It could be intro, it could be club and resort, it could be casinos and the gaming industry, it could be almost every class that we offer, as far as kind of how we kind of plug and play the stuff that's in there. And listen, we're not ashamed to admit that we borrow great ideas from our colleagues and vice versa. But I think it's nice to see when the students go, oh, I know this person's going to teach that. We really don't abide by that philosophy.
Well, that sounds great. I know you've been involved with us for a while, and it's been great to have you here visit a little bit with us. Now, one of the things that's difficult is the downturn that's affected the hospitality and tourism management industry with the COVID-19 coronavirus problems. Can you tell us what kind of adaptations you see going on in that industry, and how fast you think it'll be before we start recovering?
It's an interesting thing that's happening right now in that we will slowly start to see a recovery happening. I mean, we all know that South Florida and hospitality and tourism go hand in hand. But this particular situation is going to create basically an almost brand new industry, if you will, where you're going to start to see consolidation of different types of departments. You're going to see differences in the way events are held, as an example. So I think that as it moves forward, and you asked how long, the honest answer is to fully recover, it could be 5 years. But we'll see that first initial blast, if you will, of hiring and things getting back open. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see some things that will not reopen, and that's terrible. And that's just that's not exclusive to hospitality. It's a lot of businesses that haven't reopened, but it's going to affect how hiring is done. It's going to affect promotional processes and things like that. So it's a great teaching opportunity for us, for our students. And it's a great way to, as we kind of said before, strengthen those relationships in the community. It's definitely post 9/11, post recession. This is a different one, and they're all bad, and we come out of all of them, and we'll come out of this one, but this one's going to look really different.
Well, JB, I think our hospitality and tourism program is really outstanding here at Florida Atlantic University, and we're really glad to have you be a part of it and contribute. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for being here.
Oh, I appreciate the kind words. I can't stress enough the leadership of Dr. Ricci and what he's done for this program, and I think that he has done an outstanding job of hiring people that believe in his culture and his philosophy. And we talked about at the very beginning that it is community involvement, not just for us as instructors, but also the relationships that we built that I think benefits our students in the long run. So it's great to be here, and I hope to continue on for a long time.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. To learn more about the FAU College of Business, please visit business.fau.edu.
Dean Gropper Presents is part of the FAU College of Business podcast network. To learn more, visit us at business.fau.edu/podcasts and follow Dean Gropper on Twitter at FAU Business Dean.